Level 7 of the Backrooms is an ocean filled with invisible dangers such as an entity known as the Thing. Many wanderers who come to this level don't make it back out. This is Inside the Backrooms, the series where we explore each level in depth starting from level 0. If you love the Backrooms, this is the place to be. If you're new here, the full series playlist is linked below along with my sources. Now let's get into level 7. Level 7, also known as Thalassophobia, is an impossibly large ocean and an extremely dangerous place to be. As if oceans were not already big enough. It's classified as a survival difficulty class 4, which means it's unsafe, unsecure, and has a medium entity count. This level's structure is extremely strange. The ocean has a high concrete ceiling, around 14.8 feet or 4.5 meters above the ocean's surface. There is dim light present across the level despite there being no fixed light source, meaning there isn't a sun. It's as if light just appears from nothing, which is super weird. The entrance to this level is a slightly flooded house. Once you go down the stairs from level 6, you will enter through the flooded house and into level 7. The entrance room is fully furnished, just like a regular house. You'll find a bookcase on the left wall, a small coffee table, a chair, and that wonderful fluorescent lighting from level 0 that we all know and love. The entrance room is on the concrete ceiling and is built sideways. The door from the entrance room into level 7 is on the ceiling, so once you peek your head through, you'll be adjusted to level 7's gravity. What does that mean? It means you will forcibly fall into the waters below. Yikes. Most of level 7 is ocean. This ocean is way bigger than those found on Earth, so if you hate the water, then this is the worst level for you to be in. There are a few scattered islands on this level once you travel far enough away from the entrance point. These islands are made up of unknown rock and are mostly uninhabited. Notice how I said mostly? Yeah, some islands do have living beings on them, which I will cover in a moment. This level is separated into 4 different light levels called zones. These zones categorize different water depths. The first zone is called the Daylight Zone. This zone is the most illuminated part of the ocean. It's just slightly less dim than the surface and is the most barren part. Also, if you do choose to go under the water, there is a property in the air here that makes it so when you hold your breath, you can hold it for up to 30 minutes. Neat, right? That makes exploring under the water easier if you don't have diving gear. Also, I'm going to include a chart for what I believe these zones kind of look like. The second zone is called the Twilight Zone, which is around 1 kilometer or 3,000 feet below the surface of the ocean. It's much darker and colder here. Hopefully you got a submarine or something. This zone contains bones, some skeletons, and rusted metal. The skeletons are often humanoid, but they are definitely not humans. They have larger jaws, sharp teeth, and legs that end in flippers. Perhaps they are mermaids? There are also some huge fish skeletons and some strange fish located here too. The third zone is called the Midnight Zone. It's 3 kilometers or 9,000 feet below the Twilight Zone. It's totally dark here and there are tons of skeletons of the humanoid creatures previously mentioned. There are also incomprehensibly sized fish skeletons located at this level. The fourth and final zone is called the Abyss. Any area 7 kilometers or 21,000 feet below the surface is considered the Abyss. Someone actually made it this deep and they lasted just under 2 minutes. Wow, that's kinda crazy. This zone is decorated with mountainous piles of rock and tar, with bubbles coming from an unknown source below. There are tons of humanoid skeletons at this level, but most are deformed from the extreme pressure. There are rumors of a cave entrance in one of the rock and tar mountains. Aside from that, not much is known about this zone because of the depth it's at. One thing that's really interesting is there have been fragments of synthetic fibers in the Midnight Zone and the Abyss, leading wanderers to believe the ocean floor is actually carpeted. Now, on to the moment I presume most of you have waited for. The Thing. The famous entity on this level. For years, it was regarded as the only entity found on this level, but did you know there's actually a second entity too? That's right, and its name is Tiny. The Thing mainly resides in the Midnight Zone and Abyss. It is also extremely sensitive to light because of it spending most of its time in the dark waters. Tiny, on the other hand, mostly resides in the Daylight and Twilight Zones and has extremely good hearing. You should avoid these entities at all costs, because you will not want to fight with them. There is good news though, because wanderers know their weaknesses. With the Thing being sensitive to light and Tiny having sensitive ears, it's possible to explore this level without too much risk. My next video will cover these entities in depth. Aside from these two entities, there is a singular inhabited island called Fort Surrender. This outpost is an island made up of a haphazardly constructed shelter made of broken furniture held together by tar. The members of this island worship the Thing, and there are between 4 and 9 people, but the exact count is not known. They are also hostile, which makes sense considering what they worship. So, how do we leave? Well, leaving is not easy because you have to go underwater. To get to level 8, you'll have to dive straight down from the entrance room into the Midnight Zone. I don't see how this is possible without a submarine because even with diving gear, this seems really unlikely. Anyhow, there is a mountain, and upon that mountain you will find the route to level 8. You can also dive into the abyss, go unconscious, and end up in level 83, but this is strongly discouraged and for good reason. Why the heck would you want to even do that? There is a new exit that was discovered not too long ago. First, you go 150 meters or 450 feet west of the entrance room, then swim 150 meters under the surface. You will then find a collection of underwater pipes and stone pillars in a circular formation. In the center, you will see a wooden door built into the floor of a stone platform. There are tons and tons of skeletons here, so it's rumored that this is where Tiny lives. If you make it past him, you will go directly to level 9. The final way to leave this level is by sailing for a really long time west of the entrance room. Once you sail far enough, you supposedly find level 880. Is this true though? That's not yet 100% confirmed. Alright, so with the exits done, enough chatter from me, because that about sums up this level. I hope you all enjoyed it, and feel free to comment on what levels or entities I should cover next. Thank you for the support, and as always, if you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Have a good one, and until next time, stay away from the thing.